Oh Lord. Okay, I knew it. Oh, the baby's sleeping. I gotta calm down. Okay. Okay. So hi guys. Today I'm gonna be doing a little like deviating from what we usually do, but I need to like branch out more and have my personality shine through. Cause like hair videos, I'm interested. I want to do them, but like because I'm like very shy, like I need to do things that will help me get my personality out there and make me feel comfortable doing this. So what I'm gonna do is talk about the out of pocket stuff people have said to me thinking that it was okay or blatantly wrong. It's just that no one around, either from me and them, was there to clock them, okay? So, one of the first memories I remember, like, confronting people with that is, like, what? I'm pretty sure my first memory was, like, my mom driving. She clearly was gonna, like, turn, and she has all the signals right. This person zooms past her, and she sticks her head out the window. She's like, hey, watch out. You nearly hit my car. And this white man popped his head out, said, shut up. And you know what you could have like, what you call it, put after that? You know, the N and the R and then whatever in the middle. Yes, that's what happened. In my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, like, I was what, like 6? I'm like, I'm gonna come out of this car seat because I wasn't tall enough, so I had to be in the car seat. So I was like, I'm gonna come out of this car seat and smack the living whatever you believe in out of you. My mom wind that window back up and went about her business, and I was like, everybody heard him. People that were walking on the street heard him. People that were driving their cars heard him because it was traffic time. You know, the whole street was packed. So everybody there heard him because he said it loud and clear. That man was proud to say it. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not going to wish death upon nobody. So yeah, hopefully he either sorts out whatever issues he has to make him feel some type of way, or it just fits. And then the second time, I just jump into things, don't I? Yeah, she said I have to fix that. Yeah, I did. My brain goes like, when I'm telling stories to people, my friends are like, where are you going? Because you're here, 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 and there. Stick to one place. You can't branch off to another story to explain the story. Ooh, baby, on the track, I'm going vroom, vroom. What? 9? And I was in camp. My camp went to a field trip, right? There's a like big old park that's like what, protected from like the park rangers, the police, you know, cause Canada, you know, the policemen that everyone's like, haha, y'all got police officers that ride horses, like those type of people. We're supposed to protect the forest, right? So we're there, right? We're minding our business. I'm with my friend because my friend, my childhood friend, went to the same camp at the time with me, right? So I'm with her, we're chilling, we're minding our business, right? She wants to play on those, you know, those little rocking back and forth thingies. So we're in the forest, and it's in the middle of the forest, right? And there's a forest. So there's the forest, this is the rocking back thingy, and this is us behind the rocking back thingy. And there was a white boy on top of that rocking back thingy, right? And he was rocking for minutes on end. That felt like hours. It could have been hours by then, right? And then my friend, she finally got impatient. She said it in French. Can you like hurry up because you've been hogging this thing, and I want to play on it. Not in any rude things. Probably a bit impatient, but she wasn't being rude to him, right? Little white boy said in French, calm down. And he said it in the feminine version, right? Because you know, like, French, you have to be masculine and feminine, right? He said, calm down, you N and R's and whatever's in the middle. But you understand me, right? And I was like, my little 9 years old, because, okay, my mom taught me a lot of things as a child. She taught me that, A, you're a black child and you're a black female child in Canada. Whatever picture they paint now is not really gonna be like what? All dandelions and stuff. So you need to be careful, right? So she taught me what that word meant already. So my friend's looking at this boy, confused, and then she's like, what does that mean? And I turn to her and I'm like, you telling me he knows what that means, but you don't know? She was like fairer skinned than I, but they're still gonna see her as a, if I put the letters in my hands, you're gonna, like, they still see her as that, right? So I was perplexed. So I was perplexed. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna play on that racist thing. I grabbed her by the arm and I pulled her away. And she's like, where we're going? I'm like, no, let's go. I've been called, I just been called a, and I'm not trying to deal with that. So I'm gonna grab you. And then what? That afternoon, I'm like, oh yeah, mom, a little white boy on a playground called me a da 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 da. And then she looked at me and she was like, oh, beep 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 beep, and called them. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that boy wasn't a part of our camp, because you know all different types of kids are on the playground and you don't know who's a part of who. So yeah, that was one of the things that happened. My brain was like, yo, I knew it was wild out here, but it was wild out here. Try and catch me when I pull up in that Zoom. One of the most out of pocket stuff that has ever happened to me was like, no, it wasn't like a race thing, but it was like a stereotype thing, right? Stereotypes as girls my complexion cannot grow hair of certain length, right? And at the time, this is gonna date back into my project and all this stuff. This is into my project and all this stuff, that that I had locks, right? I pretty sure you guys know, I told you I had locks. And as a child, my mom did not want to deal with afro hair because she never really liked dealing with the time that it takes. And she's more of the type of person that's like, I'm gonna clean something and when I come back it better stay clean, right? So she rather locks, because locks was a better alternative to her, because she was not about to put toxic chemicals in her kids' heads, because she's one of those people that are like, if I eat something and it doesn't sit well with my body, I'm not gonna use it, or I'm not gonna do that. So she's like, okay, why would I put something in my kid's head that's clearly not good for them, right? So she locked her hair. That's one of the main factors why she locked her hair, right? So my locks would be like here. So I would have my long locks, minding my business, and girls, black girls, and they'll be like, hey, is that your real hair? And I'll be like, yeah, that's my real hair. But at the time, I didn't know nothing about no extensions. I didn't know nothing about no protective styles, because I would go to church with little black girls that had their hair out, or little bobbles, and I knew black girls did little bobbles, and I was like, oh, that's a cute thing that y'all do. But then, because I'm not really in the protective style thing like that, because I wore only one protective style my whole life, locks. So whenever my mom would braid my hair, it's to like, what, make it like curl up or something, or just to dress to look nice, right? So I thought braids were like something that makes your hair look nice type things, not really knowing that it has a purpose outside of looking nice and looking pretty, right? Now that I think about it, these people got short-term memories sometimes, because the beginning of the week they'll ask me, and then the end of the week they'll ask me, and then 1 week they ask me, and then 2 weeks later they'll ask me. Like, the answer was going to change. Now, one time, a girl just grabbed my hair, hold it in her hand, looking at it, examining it. Like I was lying to her. I was like, what? 9 years old? What? 8 years old? Why would, and I was a child that lived on the truth. I did not like lies. I did not like playing tricks on people. And them knowing this information, why would I lie about my hair? Is this your real hair? Like, really examining it. And I'd be in my head, because as a child, I knew the difference between fake hair and real hair. Branching off to another story. In like first grade, I was like, what? First grade, I was like 6. And my teacher, one day, she's just minding her business, and she's teaching us, right? She's walking around the class, and like what? That day, like not that day, but the night before. Okay, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Things that my mom would do is like wash my hair and then put stimulating oils in my hair. So I went to school. I don't remember, peppermints, either peppermints or some type of mint oil that she put in my head, right? So I sat in class, I'm doing my work, and the teacher walks past me, right? Like, you know how teachers be walking in the class all fast, and not too fast, but fast enough where she would make her own gust of wind. And then she caught a whiff of my hair, and she's like, who smells like that? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, writing my work, and I'm like, wait, I guess me, because I don't smell everyone else's head tops, and they probably didn't do all like cleanse your scalp type thing yesterday or whatever. So I was like, I guess me. And she's walking around the class, have her nose up in the air. I was so confused. And then her nose finally landed on me, and she's like, oh my goodness, Kaya. And she's saying this in French because it's a French school, right? And she's like, oh my God, Kaya, like, you smell so nice. What did you do to your hair? And I'm like, washed it? And she's like, oh, yeah, I see your hairstyle, it's nice. Because my mom, all the time when she washes my hair, guarantee majority of the time she will style it. So she'll be like, don't let anyone put their hands in your face, don't let anyone touch your hair. I never understood why she said don't let anybody touch your hair. It was just, I really did not understand. Please don't make that call. We don't want no call. I'm pretty sure it was like very much school. Yeah, I was minding my business, leaning back on the door. Everyone else is like doing their thing, right? And they're talking about what, this is like end of the school year, right? So they're talking about their vacations, right? They're talking about what they're gonna do for the summer. And because I don't really be going to places during the summer, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay out of this conversation, because this is not a conversation that I want to have, right? So I obviously stood back because I knew vacations equals tanning to these people, like automatically, right? So they're talking about their vacations and talking about what tans they'll get, right? And this little, I gotta describe her, nothing offensive by this little white girl. I'm minding my business, right? I'm not looking at her, right? But she's looking at me, and I can feel she's looking at me, right? So she's like, she's looking like, when I come back from my vacation, I'm gonna be darker than Kaya. Mind you, I'm not the darkest person in the room. There was another girl who was black that was darker than me, right? Very pretty, dark skinned girl, right? And she like cocks her head back and she was like looking at this girl. I'm looking at this girl and I'm looking at the other girl. I'm like, you gonna clock her or I should do that? And because no one came after her, I went after her, right? Everyone's like, oh no. Excuse, I'm like, oh no, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it. She didn't mean it that way. She didn't mean it that way. Poor Bobo. Oh, this is Bobo. Momo, sorry, but I have to use you as an example. She didn't mean it that way. Oh, Kaya, be nice. She didn't mean it that way. Why are you so aggressive, Kaya? Why are you so aggressive? And I'm like, aggressive? Mind you, I will not hurt a fly. You know how many times these kids said something that was worthy of a backhand? And I did not say nothing or do nothing? These kids were getting comfortable with me. It doesn't matter that she did not know what she was doing was wrong. I'm telling her for next time. Because no, some people won't be as gracious and as accommodating than I. Some people will clock you right where you stand before you even utter a word. So yeah, these people legit sat there and were like, oh no, Kaya, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it. One of the other ones that was like trifling was when like, cause I'm Canadian, right? And Quebecois Canadian, right? But my family is Jamaican. Because of that, I'm not gonna speak like the rest of the people there, right? So I would say things with what? A patois accent as well, right? I'll be like, can I go to the bathroom, please? And they're like, bathroom? That's not how you say it. And I used to say cucumber like my grandmother, right? And they legit scared me out of doing that. They're like, that's not how you say it. Oh my God, I can't believe she says it like that. And I was like so confused. And I'm like, so am I broken? Do I not know how to speak what I'm speaking, right? And then like I had a whole thing with that, so that was a problem. Cause I knew I was different, cause I was like, I'm, and most of the kids were not this, so I already knew I sticked out like a sore thumb. And at the time I had locks, so even if I didn't have locks, I had my afro, so I already stick out like a sore thumb as well, right? Like I just realized how I did not speak like them. The mannerisms I have when I speak are very much different. It doesn't matter. If I were to raise my voice at a higher octave, people will automatically assume that I'm angry and I want to fight. I'm like, when have you ever caught me in this school fighting people? Only person that I ever argue with is homeboy. I feel comfortable having disagreements with them, right? I don't feel comfortable having disagreements with you guys, because y'all gonna pop off and start crying. I don't know why. That's the first thing y'all do, is talk, get emotional, and then you want to cry. That's all the kids in my school want to do. Either want to fight you for real, or want to cry. There's no in between. So another thing with my accent, right? I don't really have a strong accent. I don't speak like that
anymore.
I never had a strong...
When you were younger,
I had a strong accent?
Yes, most of the things you said didn't make no damn sense. We had to like Google Translate.
Oh my God.
You went to a French school. You were speaking how your grandmother spoke.
Yeah.
And then you went to a French school and then you were learning English. So all those things
mixed up
together, you were broken record.
No. I never thought that I had a strong accent. I would have various different things that I would say that had an accent. So I would be like, let me ask you a question. Ask you a question, right? And then this woman, I hated it. I did not like speaking to this woman at times because she will sit there and not answer my question just because I said it wrong. She was like, how would your mother feel if you asked her a question? And I was like, you understand what I'm trying to tell you. Say another kid from another country had a hard accent and said something wrong, you would not correct that person. You're like, oh, it's their accent. Oh, it's their accent.
If a British person says mental illness and that, you wouldn't say nothing because oh, it's their accent. It's their accent. It's fine.
But the time I said, let me ask you a question, you want to be on some, oh, that's not how you say it. It's let me ask you a question. I didn't want to deal with these people sometimes because it was annoying. One of the things I would, because like my family, my parents, my mother and my father would, because you know, if I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing or it's just a Caribbean thing in general, they will speak in, not tongues. They will speak in, ooh, my garment's gonna fall. They would speak in what's that word? Metaphor from time to time. They'll speak to you like a normal person, speak to you straight, but they'll speak to you in metaphor.
I remember, there was one who was like, sorry, don't mean no Sojolari.
Yes! She would do that, right? But I didn't use that one. I used a one that was very commonly known in English language, right? I was in art class. Someone said something, and someone said something around those lines, right? So I interpreted the thing that I said. It was like very common, very known. So I said it, right? Because in that time, it was appropriate, right? Because it made sense in the setting that we were in, right? And everyone looked at me. They're like, what? What are you saying? And the teacher was like, the teacher just mind her business. She's like, oh, I'm gonna look the other way. Like, I am not in this conversation, right? And one of the other kids were like, are you guys stupid? Like, what she said is perfectly normal. In my head, I was thinking, are y'all stupid or your parents didn't teach you anything? Because one of the two. They either taught you something and it wasn't going through your head, or your parents weren't doing nothing with y'all, just had you like. So yeah, that's one of the things that I would do. I was so, because at times I will admit I am a weird child. Bye guys, don't forget to comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and if there's an I sign, there's an I sign, and yeah, bye.
You can say like,
You don't
like, comment, subscribe, and click the I to
You
watch the previous
you
episodes.
guys wanna?
No, I'm not doing it. You better do it.
Like, comment, subscribe, and click the I to check out the last previous episodes. Get caught up in our journey.
Okay.